Maharashtra is the economic and industrial powerhouse of India, and it's the largest economy in the country. The state GDP is more than 400 billion US dollar, according to the almost 15% of the country's total GDP, with a contribution of over 15% of the industrial output of the country. The state records the highest value of export, according to the report of 21% of India's total export during 2019-2020. In fact, Maharashtra was ranked the second on Niti Aayog Export Preparedness Index last year. The state has been a preferred investment destination for the foreign investors since the LPG reforms has been done in 1991, and this liberalization, privatization, and globalization is attached more than 140 billion US dollar in the FDI form 2000 to 2020, these last 20 years. According to the 30% of India's total share, Maharashtra also has the largest pool of trained manpower in the country and the highest employable rate in India. What is that makes Maharashtra one of the most preferred investment destination in the country? The state has been known for its dynamic leadership, one of the most preferred investment destination due to the efficient administration, vibrant infrastructure, a progressive society, and the consistency in the policy and the economic reforms. To support and to facilitate those infrastructure and investment-led growth, the government of Maharashtra has consistently worked towards providing a strong policy that framework the comprising demand and supply-led incentive and the subsidies. The magnetic Maharashtra 2.0 version, that is the program, was launched by the Chief Minister the last year for the target the restoration of the state economic activities and the fight against the impact of the pandemic. In addition, the state offers the highest employable talent due to its constant focus on training, capacity building, and upskilling to its manpower. Dedicated policies, including industrial policy and the packages, the scheme of incentive have influenced the infrastructure-led development. Acknowledging the development of those infrastructure and the logistics, the government of Maharashtra has displayed those high priority towards the development of transport and the allied services. Over 30 plus mega project was currently under the development, and 40 billion US dollar is already allocated in those developing the transport infrastructure around the key manufacturing and those industrial zones. This has attracted the investor across the state, and it's helping develop those logistic and those fashion that fiber to those values creation in the textile industry that has the critical role in the textile industry towards the national economy, amounting to over 14% of India's industrial production, 4% of its GDP, and 13% of its total exports. A similar role is played by the textile industry to the state economy, and it is the second largest employment generating sector after agriculture and has witnessed a sizable increase in spinning and weaving sector, and it is due to the state strong connectivity in road, rail, airport, and the ports, and the availability of the skilled manpower, electricity, and the resources. The climatic, geographic, and the demographic condition of the state that has consistently pushed the consumer and the producer demand for this sector, which has led to the sector's consistent growth. The previous policy led to the investment to the tune of 20 crore rupees, and the 3 lakh new people has been employed, which is inspired by the revised need to revise the policy, and Mumbai and other textile cluster in the country that has been export those hubs, increasing demand for the silk product, wool, cotton, and the non-conventional yarn that has exploited the complete potential of the sector. An ongoing textile policy aimed to generate 10 lakh new employment in the next 5 years, and that generate those investment worth 36 crore approximately, with this ambition far bigger and inclusive than the previous policy. To meet those essential infrastructural requirements and those emergency funding, the policy also provisions those creation of a textile development fund for the strategic use. The additional focus point, like the promoting textile related research and the development, establish the establishing those entire textile industry with the value chain from a farming to the marketing, and the entire industry strategy is more comprehensive and inclusive than the previous policy that will cater those inclusive growth for the state and also for the entire economy with betterment of this sector. The next sector is reaching with the skies with the aerospace and defense manufacturing. The Maharashtra has a thriving defense and aerospace industrial manufacturing ecosystem and has recently facilitated those cluster size development that led one or more anchor unit. The government also prioritized to the develop and promote those state as the aerospace and defense manufacturing and export hub, which is released those aerospace and defense manufacturing policy. Maharashtra has already prepared the multiple defense manufacturing hubs in Pune, Nagpur, Ahmednagar, Nasik, and Aurangabad, thus contributing substantially to the center's target for reducing India's dependence on defense and aerospace exports. Maharashtra also already have 42% of India's effort in aircraft, spacecraft, and the parts, ships, boats, and floating structures. And the policy specially focused on developing those MSME sector to the supplier base, to the anchor unit. The government of Maharashtra is also has some created the corpus of 1,000 crores to provide the initial capital to the MSME sector, and the state has already prepared multiple defense manufacturing hubs, and they have substantially targeted reducing India's dependence on defense and aerospace imports. And Hindustan Aeronautic Limited, the biggest manufacturing hub in the case of defense sector, and the Nagpur is promoting for the MRO facilities. The vision for Maharashtra is to establish the state as the most favored destination for the nodal investment promotions, and the agency that is incorporation for not only for the country's largest industrial development authority, but one of the Southeast Asia's most competent investment promotion authority. It provides a single point of contact for all the investor relation and manage those industrial park, which is built over 2.25 lakh acres of land across the state, and the set up those investment and industry proposal for the undisputed leadership position in 1962 by the special act of the state government with the mandate to achieve the balanced industrial development hub in the Maharashtra. It is a special planning body which operates through a vast network of the local offices. And this commitment underpins the fact that Maharashtra has continued to be the powerhouse of industrial development in the country, and it has been growing rapidly as one of the parts to becoming the nation's first $1 trillion economy in the future. That's all for now. Thanks for your time. See you in the next video.